Hi there everybody, welcome to another video. On today's video I have this BMW 118, the F20, it's a 2017, the M Series, and I'm going to be replacing the rear brake pads. And so I'm just going to start by opening the brake fluid reservoir, which is just sitting under the bonnet here, under this cover here. If you lift this cover up, it's just held in by a clip there. You will find your brake fluid reservoir just here, so we can open that. And I just want to leave that cap leaning in there, so to avoid anything going in there, but just basically removing the cap, because when we change the pads we push the pistons back on the calipers, and when we do that it pushes the fluid back into the reservoir. And if you don't open the cap, there is a chance that the seals in the master cylinder could get damaged. So, and another thing to think about is that check how much fluid you may have in there. If you shine a light in here, you will see a yellowish color, sort of showing you how much fluid is in there. You can see that mine is at a minimum, and that's okay, because as the brake pads wear down, the fluid goes down. So, but sometimes people have a tendency to top it up. So at the moment it's although it's almost at the minimum, somebody may look at that and top it up to the max. But that means the next time you push the pistons back to change the pads, that fluid will overflow and will come out of here, and it will go everywhere. So it's not really a good idea to top up the fluid unless the car asks you to do it. So anyway, I'm going to get the rear wheels off, and we are gonna get on with that job. Right, I got the wheel off. This is our nice looking caliper here, and our pads are these here. Now we need to remove these two pins in order to get those pads out. And there's also a bracket here, sort of spring loaded with the pins, that will take it out once the pins are out. And I've got my new pads here, and also I'm doing the side that has a sensor. This is the sensor. We are going to be replacing the sensor as well, and the reason for that is because if you want to reset your computer after fitting new pads, sometimes the computer, or every time I experienced, it doesn't let you reset it unless you remove and change this cable. In the past I removed the same cable and plugged it back in, and the computer still didn't let me reset it. It's almost like it knows the cable. It probably does. These days, AI technology and whatnot, it's getting a little bit ahead of all of us. So anyway, we're gonna start by taking those pins out. Okay, so we're going to with a bit of like this kind of chisel here and a hammer, we're gonna tap those out. But these can slide this way or that way, and it can obviously damage your nice looking caliper. So maybe you can put a little tape or something like that on top. Well, maybe not that big, but just something to protect around. So if it slides, it may cause minimal scratching, hopefully. Right. Okay. Okay, now we want to get the rest of the pin out, but you're gonna feel it's a little bit difficult to pull it out. That's because this spring is causing a little bit of pressure on it. So maybe with a screwdriver, you want to push the spring a little bit, and then you'll be able to remove that. Okay. And same for the bottom one. Okay. That is pretty much out, but just a little bit stuck, obviously, because these pins are a bit dirty as well. Okay, we'll give those a wire brush, or if it's really bad, too much corrosion, you can clean it with a bit of an emery paper, like sand it down a little bit basically. But these are not too bad really. They're actually okay. Now with a pair of flathead screwdrivers, we can push these pistons, sort of, we need to open them. What we're doing is basically pushing the pad against the caliper. That way we're pushing the pistons back, and that's the spring. So the pins come through here, and I was just pushing at the bottom here on that spring. Okay, now we can push this back. Now you may notice, obviously, if you only do one side, the other side comes out, which is why we need to do both sides, or at least keep one side in place and push the other one back. And this is what I mean. You push the piston back and the fluid goes back. And this one is got the sensor in it, so we can remove that sensor from here. I've got a new sensor, it's a Febby one, so obviously, as I said, you do need to replace it if you want to reset the computer, unless there is a way to do it, which I don't know, but you can let me know if you know. So that's out. And we can remove that from there. And obviously with the sensor, all we have to do is just follow it through to where it's connected, and I'll show you that in a minute. Now I have here a wire brush. This is a very soft wire brush, which is not going to damage the rubber that is around the piston here. That's why I've chosen this soft wire brush. Just give it a quick wire brush. These are not too bad. This car's got only 50,000 miles. It almost never goes anywhere. Even the pads were not really that bad, to be fair. It's just that the car has had an MOT today, and the MOT guy said they are a bit low and whatnot, so we had to go ahead and replace them. Brake cleaner, we can rinse that dust. Once that is nice and clean, you have your new pads. Can slide that in there. That one in there. but I would like to fit my new sensor in there. Right, I'm just going to plug my new sensor in here. I mean, pushing that in there can be a bit hard. But that's basically what I'm doing, just pushing, sliding that in there. These pins, as I said, you can wire brush them, remove the dirt, and if there is a bit of corrosion on them, you can use a bit of sanding paper. So spend as much time as you want on this. Depends how bad they are, obviously. Same for both pins. And then this cable here, just follow it through and take it out accordingly. It's got like a little clip there, something similar to this. So if you lift that little bit there, that clip opens, then you can get that out. Same on the one down there, and so on. And if we remove this 10mm here, it's a plastic nut. When you open that, this is where the sensor is connected. This one here. And now we need to press on that. Again, that little clip up here, and take that out. Not rocket science, so I'm going to do that now. Right, once you press on the clip there, you'll be able to disconnect that, like that. And this other one here, also, you just have to flick it from down here and it will open like that. And that's it. We have one whole unit or cable disconnected there. So just follow it through. So we have our new one, which we're going to now get back in here exactly the same way the old one came out. So don't think I need to film this. I'm just gonna get on with it and then we can return to our paths. So now we have our nicely clean pins to put back in. from the back. However, before you push them all the way in, we have to get our spring in there. Here's the spring. So you could put one first, get your pin all the way till it reaches that point. We don't need to tap it in just yet. And then with one finger, push on that other side and get the other spring in, or you can push it with a screwdriver as well, whatever is easier. There we are. Now we need to tap our pins from the other side, so until they come out. So be gentle, but again, maybe you can put a bit of tape on them in case you hit the side of your caliper and you don't want to damage it. Okay, you can see the pins here, they've come out. And if need be, you can use your chisel here to push them in a little bit more. I think they need to go in a tad more. Okay, that's it. Now I'm going to put the wheel back on and then lower the car, and we can put some, the first thing I'm going to do is pump the brake a few times. Then I'm going to check the brake fluid reservoir, close it, and then we can delete, reset the brake pad wear. Okay, got the wheels on. Now we can pump the brake, so that pedal may go in all the way in. And then it will become hard. I've got my computer ready to do the reset of the pads, and before that we can check our fluid here. So I can see the fluid is gone up a bit. We can put this cover back on. I do not need to fill this to the max because my front pads are also sort of 50% worn, which means next time I do the front pads and push the pistons, that will probably most likely come up to the max. And right, so let's get the reset done. This is a bit loose here, so I may just give it a clean, and I think these are supposed to be holding that in place. Right, by the way, I'm using a Launch X431 here Pro to do the reset of the pads. I had other things to reset because I did a service on this car today as well. So we have the rear brake pads here at 46%. That's what this is showing. My front pads are showing 17%. But to be honest, they are a bit thicker than 17% at the moment. But anyway, let's concentrate on the back. So I want to reset that, and I'm going to press F3. By the way, you can check the status of your car, if you go to menu and then vehicle status, press on that, and then if you go to that car, you can see the rear brake pads. In this case, it's saying 41,000 miles left. That was what was technically left on them, but well, we're gonna reset them now anyway because we've changed them. Right, so we're gonna reset them, F3 there, and that should hopefully reset that to 100%. Rear brake 100%. So if we check here now, that is showing 90,000 miles for the new pads at the back. And that's pretty much it. So I can exit this now. I actually need to do some checks on these because I just serviced the car, and obviously the car has to go out, and I just need to make sure there is no fault codes. Anyway, this is a completely different thing. So having said that, I hope the video helps. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask me. If I know the answer, I will let you know. Obviously, if I don't know the answer, I'll also reply, but sometimes it takes me a while to reply, and sometimes a lot of messages don't come through for whatever reason, and I find them months later. But anyway, it is what it is. So otherwise, we'll see you all in the next video.